Hey, good morning, YouTube. Empire, Season 4, Episode 3. Okay, so it opens up with Lucious is on a treadmill. Now, I don't know how they do that in their, with their, what department that'd be in the studios where they fake his leg is missing. Because he appears to be running on with one leg and a prosthetic. Anyway, pretty convincing. Times have changed. So he's running on this treadmill. Claudia has the day off, so his family is there, all of them, in his bedroom. Cookie said they come to help him with his recovery process while she's away. Okay, he asked the family. He said he wants to know why his mother thinks that he described him as being a monster. He already suspects that he was a monster. He knows that there's violence in his past, but he wants to know specifically now from his family, why did she consider me a monster? Remember, Leah tried to kill him last week. I think it had a little bit more to do with her being a monster. Thank you. All right. Next we see Diane, Mrs. Dubois, laying out her plan amongst her family, her people, of how she's going to get even with these lions. This vendetta goes deep. Right, so she has her son there. I guess the other girl's her daughter. And Angelo's there. Angelo didn't show up last week. So Angelo's there. He is drunk. Now, Angelo, he tried to run for mayor. He failed. Because of some scandal he had with conversation overheard by a conversation with argument with Cookie overheard by a TV station broadcast about some wrongdoings of his, ruined his career, and apparently he's been drunk ever since. So he's there and he's drunk. He goes off on his brother. He's jealous because his brother's being a part of this vendetta. And he can't be a part of anything because it's too messed up. But the brother, he calls the brother a whore. Because the brother, I don't even know if he's gay now. The brother has been kissing Jamal on his mouth, sleeping with him, doing God only knows what. But it's all a ploy just to get next to Jamal. So at first they kind of hinted maybe he really had feelings for Jamal. But it seems like at this point, no, it's purely to please his mother and her vendetta. Angelo calls him a whore, threatens him. Thank God the boy don't fight him back because he'd knock him out with one punch. He's that loaded. Okay. Cookie is doing a photo shoot. Now she announces this in the first scene with Forbes magazine, 100 most powerful women in business. She's doing this photo shoot, right? We'll get back to the photo shoot because there's two parts to that. Yeah. Anyway, she's bragging about it in this scene. Jamal and Thirsty have to sneak Lucious into Empire. Jamal gives him the tour. Okay, so we're trying to get this man's memory back, but Empire does not want the board members in particularly, but also the fans, to know the condition of Lucious, that he's got this traumatic brain injury. So they're basically keeping him in hiding and away from everybody. So in order for him to go to Empire, he said he wants to go to the studios. They got to sneak him in a back entrance. Right, Jamal is giving him a tour, showing him all the accomplishments he's done, the gold records, platinum records, showing him the offices and all that, and then studios. Showing him a little bit about the process, in the studio. He said he's not getting it. And he asked him to tell him about... No. Then that dude breaks in, Shine. Okay, the dude just walks in, past the security guard. Lucious always got security guard with him. Shine busts in. He don't even know of Lucious's condition. He suspected something was wrong, but he didn't know to the extent of his condition, right? Lucious identifies him immediately. He says, "Moonshine, what are you doing here?" So now we know where the name Shine came from. The street handle Shine. It was originally Moonshine. And they were young. They were brought up together, which is probably why Lucious hasn't killed him, or vice versa. Although Shine was part of trying to kill Lucious, he had a big role to play in why he's in the condition he's in right now. Okay, so Lucious has memory of him. He doesn't remember a lot about what's going on with him. He said, we used to make rap music together. And then Shine says, no, you're going to throw that in my face, huh? So apparently, all the time that they knew each other when they were young, they didn't make a record together. Shine said, no, we didn't record, but we did something in the streets. Jamal tries to spin that into, oh, you used to have street parties. And, of course, Shine is talking about the dope game. They were drug dealers for years. That's where they got the money initially. Okay. So Shine wants to play him a little bit of this music he's working on. He puts the music on, and Lucious immediately goes into these flashbacks of these violent acts of his. So he's a part of his mind is aware of the violence. So every time he goes into one of these flashback things, it involves violence. Right? Okay, so they get rid of Shine, and then Jamal is calming his brother down, and then spontaneously he decides to tell him, because Lucious asked him earlier. Hakeem suggested that Jamal tell him about when he put him in the trash can, right? That was in the first scene. The mother said no. Cookie said no. Everybody agreed, no, he shouldn't go there yet. But now, Lucious is trying to get this music stuff. He can't get it. He said, can we just talk? And then, so Jamal takes this opportunity to tell him about the time he was 6 years old. He came down them steps with these high heels and his mother's wrap on or something. And his father picked him up and threw him in the garbage. Said he was a piece of trash. Now, according to Lee Daniels, this is something that actually happened. I'm a writer. I know that you take things out of your, many times, personal experiences you've had in your life will end up in your stories. So this is something that actually happened to him. Lucious said, "Oh, that was horrible." I kind of like his little personality. It's not very dramatic though. It doesn't lend us to nothing like some good violence, and monsterness to keep people interested. But this new persona he's taken on is a compassionate guy, an understanding guy, right? But now we know that can run to boring. So we all want to see Lucious become Lucious again. Okay. So he tells him that. Cookie, all through this thing, is having flashbacks of her time in prison, right? Okay, so we've seen that all the way through it. She's in a meeting. She has this plan for 20 songs. That means Empire's been in business 20 years. She wants an album for every year that the company's been in business. She calls all the producers, they're all in the office, board meeting. It's not a board meeting, it's a meeting with the producers, laying out her plans for all of them to produce a total of 20 albums. Shine breaks in. Shine doesn't have very much manners. He's always breaking in shit. He comes into the meeting and he sees on the board, she's got a board. She's telling everybody how many albums they have to produce for a total of 20, right? He comes in, he sees his name on the board. His name has got one album. Now he's 25% owner of this company now. He says this is bullshit and that'll never happen. He wants 10 albums. 10 of the 20. Half the albums he wants to produce them, right? This is his bargaining beginning. They meet separately. He tells her he wants the 10. First she said 1. Now she said, okay, I'll go to 3. They ain't gonna work. He says 7. They meet in the middle, which is the way business works. 5. So now Shine is gonna do 5 albums of this total of 20. He owns 20. I don't remember how last season he got to be a quarter owner, but that's what he's getting. A quarter of the albums, quarter owner. All right, so they come to an agreement. Andre tells this detective woman. Okay, so the detective woman, she's a mystery. So she's acting like she's actually attracted to him. She wants to bang with him and all this kind of stuff. So there's a sexual thing between them, which she says is a coincidence that she met him, which has to be bullshit. But Andre tells the woman that the reason why they can't find Juliana, because Thursday had already informed them they couldn't find her. I don't remember specifically what happened to her. That was last season. But Andre says because she tried to put a hit on his father, she is in hiding from Lucious. That's his explanation of why they can't find her. Now, I don't remember if she died in that thing or not. Did Andre kill her? I think I might go back and check out the last season. That damn Fox, though, they're one of them ones that charges you for the last seasons. So I'm not going to go back and pay to see the last episode of the last season. But if it's on there for nothing, I'll see it. I'll check it out. Just to get caught up. Okay, Andre and Cookie visit a bank. I believe the number is $100 million they need for these 20 albums. Usually they take the profits from one album and make another album. Take the profits from that album and make another album, right? That's the way the company's always been run. But since Cookie wants 20 albums at the same time, they need a big loan, line of credit. So they go to this bank, their regular bank. The banker refuses them the line of credit. Cookie lays out how successful they've been. There's no reason why they wouldn't be approved for this loan. And the man says, a line of credit, the man says that there's something internal with the company. They can't do it right now. We're cutting back with music companies. Okay, so it turns out this banker is with the Dubois. Because we see in a little bit, the next scene that he gets in a limousine with Miss Dubois, Diane. So she has arranged for him to not give her this line of credit, right? Okay, they got to find the financing elsewhere. So Cookie let the man know, gave her a piece of her mind, of course. Okay, Lucious. Oh, I just did that. Okay. Jamal. Why am I doing all this stuff I just did? Jamal tells his father a story about him putting him in trash can. Okay. Okay, next thing is Cookie. There was a second part to this photo shoot. First, they were just meeting her at Empire. They did a photo shoot there, right? Cookie had to stop a little bit early. She had business to take care of. Now, the second meeting is with this whole group of women. This group, I think it's about 8 women they're doing this photo shoot with, of the most successful women entrepreneurs. Like, there must be just in New York. Anyway, did they say 10? Maybe she was the top 10. Anyway, so they're going to do a shoot together, right? She gets there, and guess who is one of the other women? It is Miss Dubois, Diane Dubois. So she's over there, and they're in little pockets, and Cookie overhears her over there chopping her up with these other women, selling how she has no education, how she's a convict, and all this thing. Cookie overhears that, goes and checks Miss Diane. All right. They proceed to the photo shoot on this little settee, and Cookie tells these women that I cannot go through. I can't do this right now. I can't. I got too much going on. She gives them a little snippet of what she's been going on through that day with not being approved for line of credit, which her company deserved. And so the women started identifying with her plight because they had been through similar situations when when their husbands died or whatever. And the first woman tells her she's going to front her $10 million. And the other women are in it as well. So Miss Dubois, she loses this battle because Cookie has walked away from this place with presumably $100 million. Is what she needed anyway. Several $1 million. So she finishes the shoot. Okay. Anika shows up at Akeem's place. Last week she showed up at the door, and that's how they ended it. So I guess they had to have had at least that meeting. Now she's back for another meeting, and she's there to pick up the baby. She says she wants to take the baby to somewhere. Akeem says, no, we got plans. And so as Anika's trying to hold the baby and all this, the baby starts crying. She wants to go to, what's that? I always forget that girl's name. It's not Rihanna, but Tiana. Okay, so they are bonding because this girl's been gone for 5 months, right? And he said her baby don't remember her. And Nika kind of threatens them. She may not remember me, but you better not forget me. So there's going to be a custody battle there of some sort. If she don't get killed or have an accident. You know how the show is. Diane gets in the middle. Okay. Okay, this is strange scene. We don't know what's going on with this detective. She should be fired. She's inappropriate. She's supposed to be across the street. Andre's in the window, and she's supposed to be across the street looking at him through binoculars. He is aware that she is watching him. Now she's still kind of spinning this is some kind of sexual thing, because they're sending text messages and stripping. He's taking off all his clothes. She's taking off all her clothes where she is across the thing. That's how they do police work in New York. I don't know. It seems very bizarre to me. Either you're investigating him or you're not. If you're not investigating him, why are you why did you rent an apartment across the siteway to spy on him? Whatever that is. Okay. Warren Dubois. Warren Dubois. That's Diane's son, her other son, spins Jamal his tail in order to get him to open up about Lucious. He had come to, when Lucious was in the studio, he had come there and Jamal would not let him in. Told him, I'm doing something important. I can't get away right now. Later on, this guy Warren's, why are we keeping things from each other? I thought you cared about me and all this stuff. Okay, and Jamal breaks down. First, the guy tells him a story about how his father was an attorney, and then is this a true story of his father? Because his brother was an attorney. Anyway, he says his father was an attorney. He got hooked up in gambling and drinking. Died of drunk. So he was envious of Jamal and his relationship with his father. He just wanted to see what that was like. So it's a bunch of bullshit, of course, some hype to get Jamal to open up about what's going on with Lucious. So apparently this woman, Diane Dubois, she's not even aware of what's going on with Lucious. They're keeping it so under wraps apparently. Although it seems like everybody knows, but we're only being exposed to the family, so we just know what they know. But other people do not know about his condition. So Jamal is sending information to Diane without knowing it about Lucious's condition. Okay, last scene. Lucious asked Cookie, you said you were gone for 17 years. I want to know why. And then she tells him, after a little bit of hesitation, she tells him why, where she was at. She was in prison. And he asked her, was that because of me? She'd be like, everything was because of this Negro. Was that because of me? You know, he's being the sweet Lucious. She tells him yes. Fade to black. That's the end of episode 3. Right? Right. Okay, see you next week.